Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. This one's a Dark Tidings deck. Let me see if I can predict. Yeah, I think this is going to have the name down here. All right, the one I'm careful on, of course, that's how it ends up. So here we have Dezibender the Enforcer. Interesting. I'm going to guess that this has Star Alliance, Saurian, and Shadows. Star Alliance, Saurian, and Logos, not Shadows. Okay, so this will be interesting. Uh, One of my best decks has this combo, but it's from Worlds Collide. But we can expect probably a pretty fast, efficient deck. I mean, if we get the right logo stuff, then we get deck efficiency. Get the right Star Alliance stuff, we get use efficiency, and then Saurians turn into, okay, we're doing things. We have a cool engine. Um, Not maybe the Golden Spiral engine that I would, maybe you could see elsewhere. There's no Helmsman Spears here probably, but um, still some good possibilities um, if we can get things right. So we'll see what we end up with if I can ever open this. And I'll say Star Alliance has some great board control options too, but I find that they're funnest when they're giving you cool use efficiency. Ooh, Captain Cressage is a 6-power cyborg. It says while you control another creature with elusive, taunt, poison, or skirmish, Captain Cressage gains that keyword. So that's interesting. What'll we probably get? We'll probably get some. No, we won't get taunt out of Saurian here. That's so interesting. Could get taunt out of Star Alliance. Not likely to get skirmish. Interesting. We'll see. Brain Eater, great. 6-power. After an enemy creature is destroyed, fighting it, draw a card. Love that. Oh, Mechabui, an artifact that gives a player an amber at the start of their turn if the tide is high for them. Uh, Good reason to want to keep the tide high. Mechabui is fun. It pushes the game in a certain direction, which I think is fun. We got to think twice. That's going to make it interesting depending on what other action cards we get. Bilge Warden gives us some tide control. Like to see that. Got 2 of those. Okay. Now, if you have the Mechabui out and you have the tide, you might just discard your Bilge Warden because. Final analysis. Interesting. Play destroy each creature. Each player draws a card for each creature they control that was destroyed this way. Be an interesting way to capitalize if we get the board out. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Hydro Cataloger, that's interesting with the Mechabui because we're probably going to have the tide going back and forth. So people are going to be archiving top card of the deck a lot from that. Infomorph is a 4-power mutant. It's going to give 2 draw enhancements somewhere in the deck. We haven't seen them yet. We've got a Phase Shift. Let us play a non-logos card on that turn. And PI Sweven, that's cool. Reap, if the tide is high, draw 3 cards. That's a great effect. No archives here, right? Oh, other than the Hydro Cataloger, that could give us some archives. But not expecting a lot of archives. We're really looking at probably a lot of draw here. We have a Submersive Principle, which causes each player to lose 1 amber, but if the tide is high, they lose half instead. Very interesting. And that's it for the logo. So yeah, pretty much all our efficiency here is going to be draw based. We might get some archives off the Hydro Cataloger, but that's it. So that's interesting. Not a lot of combo setup. Yeah, and the only archive we have is random. So on to Dinos. Eclectic Ambrosius is such an interesting card. 4 power. At the end of your turn, you put a knowledge counter on it, and if it you can action it to remove 3 knowledge counters from it, and if you do, gain 6. So if we can protect this, we're going to be very happy because, yeah, if we can protect it, we're going to be really happy because gain 6 amber is a pretty good effect. But you need to keep it just sitting there, not dying. Berry Riches. If we do have some capture come up, which we almost certainly will, this will give us a way to capitalize on it. If the tide is high, you move amber from each creature, one amber from each creature to its controller's pool, otherwise raise the tide. Ooh, City State Interest. Wow. City State Interest, Berry Riches. If you have a lot of creatures on the board, this is steal. This combo is steal one per creature that you have. That's good. That's really good. I know you didn't destroy an enemy creature with amber on it. And that could be also really good setting up for the Berry Riches. So I like that. Dino You Didn't is a really fun card. Destroy an enemy creature with amber on it. You gain an amber as you do it. I love it. Siren Horn. It's an upgrade with an amber. It gives a creature before fight move one from this creature to the creature it fights. Cool. Altruist Rostrum lets us move an amber from a creature to another creature. Nice, especially with that city state. We've got a Faust who's making our captured amber increase the opponent's key cost. That's great. And a Medicus Lacus who maybe lets us forge. Although without an Imperial Forge or a Colosseum, this is only if the opponent lets us. And I think you're really unlikely to get key 3 that way. I mean, you're not going to get key 3 that way. You could potentially get key 1 or 2 that way, even with the condition that your opponent can raise the tide to take that benefit away from you, just because if your opponent really doesn't want to take the chains and you don't have that much captured amber, 1 or 2, they might let it slide. Ostracize. Lose an amber if you do purge a creature. Nice. That with the Dino You Didn't is really kind of nice targeted destruction. I mean, you got to think like Altruist Rostrum plus Dino You Didn't is kill any creature you want. Super good. Okay. Another Ostracize. Wow. Losing the amber is big, but purging a creature is so big. Wow. Okay. I like it. Oondagnathis. 12 power beast. While the tide is low, it deals no damage when fighting. Very nice. Uh, hopefully you keep the tide high to get that effect, or to not have that trigger. Venator Altum, this one has a draw icon on it. After it's a 7 power 2 armor, after it's dealt damage, if the tide is low, you exalt it. Although that could just be amber for you with Berry Riches. We'll see. So that's an interesting setup here. How are we doing? We have 5 Saurian creatures. No taunts. That's going to be bad news for the Ambrosius, the Faust, and the Lacus. But and then Sweven 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 11 creatures total so far. That's okay. I like that we have 2 purges. No artifact control yet. We'll see. Final analysis, of course, is just crazy board control. So, all right, let's see what we get in Star Alliance. I think I saw we're going to get, Hings is going to come with Gross. So when you play either one, you get to search your deck for the other one and put in your hand and then shuffle your deck. When you fight or reap with Hings, you draw 1 card for each creature between them. When you fight or reap with Gross, you give a +1 power counter to each creature that's between them. So the Hings effect is better, but they're both cool and great if you can keep them on the board somehow. I find that a little iffy, but we'll see what we can do. Oh, Terasa, that's excellent. So this Terasa has a draw icon. Terasa is a robot that can be used as if it belonged to either of its neighbor's houses, but you can play it as an upgrade instead of a creature, in which case it gets the text. This creature may be used as if it belonged to either of its neighbor's houses. So think about that on Hings. Think about that on on Ambrosius. I don't think I would want an Ambrosius. On Sweven, on Brain Eater, Yeah, I think Sweven or Hings would be really good to have that on. Got another Terasa. Awesome. Got a Universal Translator. It's an upgrade with an amber that gives a creature fight, reap, use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature. So the Teresa's and the Translator mean, if we have Starlines on the board, we're going to get to use our other board. So that's excellent. We've got a CR Officer Hawkins. When you play it, you gain 1 amber for each of its non-Starlines neighbors, and it has deploy, so probably getting 2 amber there. Got another one of those. Nice. Agung, also great way to give us to let us use a creature off house. Play fight reap for the remainder of the turn. A friendly creature belongs to the house of your choice in addition to its other houses. Love that. We've got Karkarr giving us some taunt and hazardous. So interesting. The Cressage does not get hazardous, but it can get taunt. So if we have Karkarr out, it can get taunt. I don't think I've seen anything with elusive, poison, anything like that. So it could get taunt. That would be great. Oh, there's an elusive. Operative Espeon, 4 power elusive. The first time this, it has elusive, and then after a player raises the tide during their turn, they may use a creature they control. So if you have this and the Hydro Cataloger out and Mechabui, and you're doing stuff with, uh, Lacus, that's going to be kind of crazy. The tide fight and stuff will be happening as a result of it. So very interesting. Shield you later, 3 power robot with 2 armor, but it can be played as an upgrade and give what it's attached to 2 armor. Nice that we have these things that can be upgrades because that kind of effectively reduces the creature count a little bit, and we have a high creature count. And then Zap. Okay. So I think we're going to be low in raw amber just because this creature count's so high. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 pips. However, if we can generate a lot of amber outside of that, that makes this deck almost Infernus proof. We have a lot of ways in Star Alliance to use creatures off house. 5 ways, in fact, right? Espeon, Agung, Universal Translator, and 2 Teresas. So 5 ways to use creatures off house. Getting the Shield You later on the Brain Eater would be pretty cool. If we can get Hings and Gross to stay out, maybe get Karkarr and Cressage to help, that would be really nice. The Ostracizes and the Dino You Didn't, I think, are going to be pretty good for spot board control when we really need it. There's no wipe in here, right? I didn't see. Oh, there is. There's Final Analysis if it really comes down to it. What would I want to think twice? I guess we have the option of Zap, Ostracize, Dino You Didn't, City State, Berry Riches, Submersive, Phase Shift. I think that's about it. So not a ton of options for Think Twice or for Phase Shift. Well, Phase Shift can do anything, so that seems fine. Okay. Yeah, seems okay. So, um, I think I like it. Um, I think no artifact control is going to hurt us. The lack of board control might hurt a little. I wish it had a key cheat. But I like it. I would give it a 68. Well, let's pause and see what Dexter Keyforge says. All right, I say 68. DOK fighting me yet again. Put it at 60. I just like Dex too much. All right, low amber control. I don't know about that. I think it's pretty okay. Oh, and Mechabui are getting counted as negative. I can understand that. Um, yeah, I disagree with this disruption score. Those things are optional. Yeah, okay. I think this is fine. I think if you can land the Hings, you're really happy. Um, Other stuff a little iffy, but yeah, I think it's better than that. How dare you? Anyway, but anyway, that was Dezibender, the Enforcer. I hope you enjoyed and that you'll get out and forge some keys.